What's up? What's up, guys? I'm so happy to be back. This is like my favorite chair these days, my Mindful Melodies chair. We are back with another line of interviewers today, but first, before we get into that, y'all know I gotta talk to y'all about my crazy week. When I say it has been crazy, y'all, it has been literally crazy. So y'all know last time I came on here, I was super excited talking about my new job and me just starting this new job. But I'm learning like adulting is just like so hard as far as like paying for everything, trying to like balance everything. So if you didn't know, I'm into sales right now. I do door-to-door sales. So I'm the one who goes to your door, harasses you, and asks you, do you want windows or doors? That's me. But I get like a lot of no's daily. People just slamming the door in my face. They press to tell me that it's no solicitors in their neighborhoods. And it's like that can be draining a lot of the times. But I feel like the biggest lesson that I learned this week, because I didn't get no leads this week, like 0 leads. Yep, going home pretty sad. All them no's, I didn't get no yeses this week. But I feel like me learning that, I had to really just remind myself that like every week is not a winner, but I still had to ask myself things that I'm blessed for. Y'all, I got a job where I can pay my own rent at 21. That's great. I'm thankful for that. Although I didn't get all leads, I can pay my own rent. I feel like, although I'm getting like all of these no's, I now know how to talk to you guys a little bit better as far as like being more confident, learning how to navigate through conversations and learning how to just like talk to people and convince them of certain things. Cause you know, people don't really, think about windows and stuff like that. So like just finding ways to still be in charge of the conversation. I feel like there's always a brighter side. There's always something good that you can look into out of the situation. So like no matter how shitty the situation is, there is going to be something that's good coming out of it. So with that being said, find the good in it, guys. Find the good in it too. But I definitely wanted to touch on some different things. Shout out to Free Yourself. Shout out to Simba. She was having her radio show right before mine, and they were touching on some really dope topics. One that really sparked my interest was like jealousy. I feel like, at least for me right now, I ain't even gonna lie, I be feeling like really jealous over some of the artists that I see sometimes like around the scene and stuff like that, because I'm balancing 3 careers as far as like being a videographer, a media person, working with my 9 to 5 and trying to be an artist at the same time. That's really hard. Like I feel like 1 is always gonna get the shortest end of the stick. 2 might even get the shortest end of the stick. But with that being said, I don't get time to like really spend time on music how everybody else gets to. So it's just like, damn, like I really wish that I could be this best version of myself, and I don't get to be. So with that being said, don't focus on the journey of what somebody else has going on. Again, social media is shoved down our faces to where it's like that's what we see the accomplishments of everybody else, but you gotta celebrate yourself. You gotta remember what your journey is, what your path is, and realize that nobody can step in your shoes and do what you're doing. Like if people stood in my shoes, they would fold. They would not be able to do it. If I stood in somebody else's shoes, I'm sure I would fold and I would not be able to do it. So just remembering what's meant to you is always gonna find you. So moving on, maneuvering through after minor and major setbacks, having major and minor comebacks. So for me, like even like I was just saying, as far as like my job and stuff like that, you literally have to figure out what works for you as far as the bounce back. I feel like I'm good with just like when things happen, when life happens, I'm pretty good with like getting myself back on track to like, you know, not feel as bad or not stay in that same space. But my challenge to you guys this week or this month would be finding what you can do to like maneuver through these setbacks, because you know life is an endless pool of cards being dealt with shit that we can't sorry, because we're trying not to curse on here, guys, these days, so no cursing, but things that are just gonna constantly knock us down. Like we're made to just figure it out. So figure it out with your best foot forward, because wasting time pouting, crying, all that stuff is not gonna solve your situation. So on that note, did you know that California has looting laws now that if you're stealing items that are $950 or less, you will not get in trouble. That's freaking crazy. So after talking and conversating on it, I didn't have too much time to do too much research on it. Basically, what the real thing is, let's say like this iPad, for an example, the retail price is, let's say, like $250. the what it's posted up as is going to be like $950 because that's what people over that, exceeding that, you will get in trouble for stealing, but under that, then you won't. So they mark it as $950, but when you scan it, of course, it's not going to be $950. But the fact that California has to do all these things, y'all are crazy in California. I need to get it together. Like, how is civilization even working functionally? Like, you can't tell me it's working there. Anyways, the VMAs, has anybody like seen that recently? There's a couple things that I wanted to talk about on the VMAs. The first thing, while I'm trying to open my goddamn iPad, I just locked my device. But I feel like they were talking about how a lot of artists were lip syncing. You would be surprised. Like, after you get out of a certain level, you're like, okay, do these high artists lip sync? Are they actually performing? But they're giving the full package. Like, let's use Beyonce, for example. We know Beyonce singing, and we know she don't gotta sing because we know she can sing, and we know that she can perform. So I feel like if you're not Beyonce, and if you're not really putting that work in, why are you... I don't know. I feel like that's a hard one because even for me, like right now, I'm trying to learn how to be a better artist version of myself. And that comes in with the breath control, the breath work, trying to figure out how you can perform and still hit every key, every note at the same time. So I would just hope that you guys are practicing and taking your craft seriously. Like, if you want to be an artist, that means doing the whole thing. That doesn't mean just going up on stage, recording a song, and just getting people to listen to it just because. Like, find the value in the reason why you're doing all of these things. Like, we're not here to just be here. Like, we have a purpose. So let's start finding out what our purpose is and stepping in that confidently. Okay, so I was able to get back in here. NSYNC came back. I love NSYNC personally. I just figured out that what's his name? Justin Timberlake. I didn't know that he was kind of like the leader of NSYNC. That's tough. I just want to throw that out there. Can we talk about Taylor Swift? Because like everyone loves Taylor Swift, but like why? I'm just going to say it. Why? Is she really good, though? Like, does she make good music? Like, I don't know. So, definitely, once I post this video, let me know in the comments what y'all think about Taylor Swift. Because I'm not a fan. I'm not going to even lie. And then lastly, I want to leave it off with Miss Nicki. I love Nicki Minaj. I know everyone kind of like, she's a fave. But I guess when you're in the industry, it's easy to get a big head, and it's easy to kind of like think that you don't have to work towards getting certain things. But she's the type to she's done all her work. But after a certain point, people are watching you. After a certain point, you put on that hat of mentor. And if you can't correctly and professionally and maturely kind of like help people who you've paved the way for, then it's like, what are you in that role for? What are you putting on that hat for if you can't stand your ground and not bully people who are looking up to you, honestly and truthfully? She's weird. But I love Nicki. Shout out to Nicki. She be doing it for the girls. But I'm done talking to you guys. I'm going to talk to these amazing guests that I have. So check us out after this song.
Cash me out. She don't wanna be back at home all alone, and she been eyeing me for a long time. Yeah, I've been feeling like you want a little more than just a good night. Yeah, I've been feeling like I feel a little more than just a good vibe. Girl, I want your body on me. Yeah, I want everybody to see that when you with me, girl, I make you feel so comfortable. I know you're sick of being lonely, but you should learn to be alone. That's how you really feel so comfortable. Baby, come and pull up on me, but leave the drama at home. Baby, protect your energy. Can't live your life inside a phone. wanna be back at home all alone. She don't wanna be at home. And she been eyeing me for a long, long, long time. She don't wanna be alone. And I've been feeling like you want a little more than just a good night. More than just a good night. And I've been feeling like I feel a little more than just a good vibe. A little more than just a good vibe. Girl, I want your body on me. And I want everybody to see that when you with me, girl, I make you feel so comfortable, comfortable. I know you're sick of being lonely, but you should learn to be alone. That's how you really feel so comfortable, comfortable. I know you're sick of being lonely, but you should learn to be alone. That's how you really feel so comfortable, comfortable.
Ooh, that song was vibey.